The night Kwame found the drum, the air was thick with the scent of old wood and forgotten melodies. He had been wandering the busy streets of Accra, searching for inspiration. His music career was struggling, and without a breakthrough, he feared he would be lost in the shadows of more successful artists. Desperation led him to an old marketplace, where strange things are beneath layers of dust and history. It was there, in the dim glow of an oil lantern, that Kwame saw it. A drum unlike any he had ever seen. Its skin was stretched tight over an ancient frame, covered in faded carvings of warriors locked in battle. The vendor, a hunched old man with eyes that seemed to hold too many secrets, smirked as Kwame reached out to touch it. "Ah, young one," the old man said, his voice carrying the weight of something ominous. "That drum does not just play music. It plays history." Kwame barely heard him. The moment his fingers brushed against the drum, a shiver ran up his spine. It felt like the instrument was alive, like it had been waiting for him. He bought it without another word, ignoring the vendor's knowing smile. That night, in his small apartment, Kwame sat before the drum, staring at it. The carving seemed to shift under the dim light, the warriors moving as if caught in an eternal battle. Shaking off his unease, he lifted his hands and struck the first beat. The sound was unlike anything he had ever heard. Deep, ancient, powerful. A rush of wind filled the room, though his windows were closed. Shadows twisted along the walls, and for a moment, Kwame swore he heard voices, chants in a language he didn't understand. Then, as suddenly as it came, the presence faded, leaving only silence and his own rapid heartbeat. The next day, he played the drum at a local bar. The audience was spellbound. People who had never paid him attention before were mesmerized by the rhythm. He felt the power in every beat, his hands moving on their own, as though guided by something unseen. And then the vision started. At night, he dreamed of warriors in ancient battlefields, their faces fierce and painted in war colors. He saw blood-stained spears, burning villages, and a great leader calling his name. When he awoke, his body ached as if he had fought those battles himself. The more he played, the stronger the visions became. Shadows whispered to him in the darkness. He would wake up with strange symbols drawn on his skin, inked in what looked like dried blood. People began to fear him. His music was praised, but it left an unsettling feeling in the air, like the echoes of forgotten war. One night, an old woman appeared at his door. She was dressed in traditional robes, her face lined with age and wisdom. "You must stop," she said, eyes sharp and knowing. "That drum does not belong to the living. It belongs to the dead." Kwame scoffed. "It's just a drum." The woman shook her head. "It is a gateway. Each beat calls forth the spirits of warriors who seek to finish a battle long forgotten. If you continue, they will not stop until blood is spilled again." Fear coiled in his stomach, but he had already gone too far. He needed the drum. It had given him fame, power, and purpose. He refused to let it go. The next time he played, the room darkened. A storm raged outside, though the sky had been clear moments before. The walls shook with unseen energy, and the carvings on the drum began to glow. Then, with a deafening roar, the spirits emerged. They were no longer visions. They were real. The warriors surrounded him, their eyes burning with unfinished rage. They raised their weapons, and Kwame finally understood. The battle they had been trapped in was not over, and now he was part of it. The last thing he heard was the old vendor's voice echoing in his mind. "That drum does not just play music. It plays history.